Let's bring Doug Flynn in on this. Of course, Doug's from Flynn Zito Capital Management. I think what Marcus said about Besson is kind of interesting. I'll get to that in a moment. On the tablet, pop up the charts. Why is he saying what he's saying, or trying to set up what he's saying? Because this has been ugly since the trade war started, whether it's the S&P or whether it's the Dow. Since the inauguration, 13, 11, those numbers are percentage down. Now today we bounce higher. We're up 2.7% on the Dow, which is 1,000 points up. So what do you think Besson's doing? I mean, to me, he didn't really make news. He just basically seemed to make a kind of hint at the fact that, listen, guys, I get it. I'm not going to let this train go off the tracks. If we'll de-escalate if we have to. What did you make of that?
Yeah, he's been pretty good with coming out and saying things at the right times, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this comes down to that, trade wars are enough of an issue, and then you add in Fed problems between the president and the Fed chairman, and that creates a whole host of uncertainty, and that's where you are with why the markets come down quite so much this year. It's still down less than it was in 2022. So given all that, I would expect it to be down even more. But you start getting around that 15 to 20% off issue, and then you start thinking about, are these bounces real, or are they just bounces off the bottom for a little bit till we get through this? But we do need to see some deals, so he's hinting at that, and that's where we're going.
That's what we need to show us something. So real quick on that, and then a quick comment on Tesla after it. But on the first point, to me, the concern is, like, have investors lost trust in this and around the world in this administration, and what are the ramifications of that, even if they start cutting deals? What do you think?
Perhaps in a 15-second TikTok world we live in, people don't have much more patience than watching a 15-second video. So I don't know. You have to take a little bit more than a month or two or three, or a quarter is not forever in the investing world, and we're acting like a quarter is 20 years.
Look at these grown people, by the way, ringing the bell at the stock exchange, taking pictures of themselves. I don't know. Speaking of getting distracted easily, no, I get it. So it's short term versus long term. Yeah, thumbs up. So tell us then about Tesla, because that's we got a minute left before they do ring that bell and we get these people off the stage. So Tesla's going to report tonight, and that's a lot of people are going to be looking at it because it's Elon Musk, and because the numbers recently have been disastrous. I think I have a stock chart here. It is of the tablet. You can pop it up. It's up a little today, but it's been a mess lately. Tell us about Tesla.
It's down more than 50% from its all-time high. It's the worst of the top 10 stocks in the S&P 500 by far. There's a lot of stocks down 30% to the market's overall 15, but that's down more than 50. You're getting a bounce here because they're expecting a little bit lower than revenue than it had, but not a whole lot lower. So if it comes in just a little bit lower, that's good. But they're also really going to be listening for, do tariffs have any impact on Tesla? Because even though they're not subject to the import tariff, because they're mostly made in the U.S., a lot of the parts and things are part of that. But really what everyone's thinking that's an investor in Tesla is, when does Elon get back to Tesla and diminish his role in Doge and whatever else he's doing, but really focus in on that company, because that's what it needs, and that's the confidence that I think would come back to Tesla as a stock. Until then, you're going to get these bounces off the bottom too.
Like some space-related folks there ringing the bell, thinking of SpaceX a little bit. That's SpearX. All right, Doug, thank you very much. Doug Flynn on that.